Folks, AI agents sound great until you actually try to use them on real websites. That's usually where things stop working the way you expect. Most of the time, the issue is not even the AI itself, it is the web. Real websites are full of logins, dynamic pages, and small changes that can break fragile workflows very fast. My name is Daniel, and today, mates, I want to show you a platform that tries to solve this problem in a more practical way. We are looking at Tinyfish, and the idea here is simple. Instead of stacking different tools together, it aims to handle the workflow in one place. Friends, that is what makes this interesting. It is not just about giving an agent access to a browser. It is about giving it a system that can actually deal with how messy the web really is. Guys, make sure you check out all the useful links in the description after watching this video. There might be some nice discounts there, so let's get into it. So first of all, folks, the easiest way to understand Tinyfish is not to think of it as just one tool. It is more like a platform that combines several things you would normally use separately when working with the web, but structured as one execution system rather than separate tools. Because right now, if you want to build something that interacts with websites, you usually need multiple parts. You need something to find information, open and navigate pages, extract data, and then actually run the workflow. Currently, features like search and fetch are available for free to all users, which makes testing and building workflows much easier. This is actually a pretty big deal, because there are no usage caps or freemium limits here. It is fully free, making it much easier to test workflows without worrying about request costs from the very beginning. Another important detail here is how the data is returned. Instead of raw HTML or messy output, everything comes back as clean, structured results, which makes it much easier to plug into agents or workflows without extra processing. Guys, another thing to understand is that this is built for agents, not for manual use. The idea is that your system can run these tasks on its own across multiple websites without you having to manage every step. And when you look at it this way, it is less about a single feature and more about how everything works together. You are not thinking about separate tools anymore, but about a workflow that starts with the task and ends with the result, all inside one platform. The setup itself is also very straightforward. It works out of the box with tools like Cloud Code, Cursor, and other MCP-compatible environments, so you don't have to spend time wiring everything together before you even start. And that's exactly what I want to test here. Alright folks, I'm inside the dashboard, and as you can see, this is where all your agent runs are tracked. You can see how many runs you have done, the success rate, and how long they usually take. I quickly went through this dashboard just to show what's here. You can see there are different options like curl, Python, TypeScript, and CLI, so if you want to run this outside of the platform, you can do that as well. And this is important for developers, because Tinyfish is not only a place where you test browser automation visually. You can also take the same kind of workflow and connect it to your own backend. So the setup can be pretty simple. Your input can be just a list of company URLs, and your output can be structured data with fields like company name, pricing page URL, plan name, monthly price, and so on. But for this video, I am not going to focus on that, because the main idea is how the agent actually works. So let's move into the playground, because it is where everything happens. The whole idea, guys, is very simple. Instead of building workflows or setting up anything complicated, you just describe the task and the system handles the execution flow under the hood. So let's start with something basic. I asked it to find 5 SaaS tools for email marketing. And once I run this, the agent immediately starts working. At first, it takes a few seconds to load properly, but then you can clearly see what's going on. It starts opening different websites, moving between pages, and figuring out where to get the information from. Mates, what's important here is that you're not just getting a list from some database. The agent is actually executing actions on real websites, step by step like a user would. What's more important is that these actions are executed as a structured sequence, not just one-off requests. Guys, before we move on, I try to make my content fun instead of boring. And in return, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content I make. Now let's take it a step further. This time I want Tinyfish to run a batch extraction workflow across around 20 SaaS websites, find their pricing pages, pull out pricing details, and return the results in a structured format. So the input here is basically a list of SaaS company URLs. Tinyfish then has to go through each site, navigate to the pricing page, extract the useful pricing data, and return it in a clean structure. Here that whole process is handled automatically. After a bit, you get the result, and instead of raw messy output, you now have a structured comparison. You can clearly see the tools, their pricing, and how their plans differ from each other. This structured layer is actually the important part. The result is not just a paragraph that looks nice in the playground. It is already organized enough to store in a database, pass into another app, using an internal tool, or feed into another agent workflow. So this is where the scale angle really matters. Doing this once is useful, but running the same workflow across 20, 30, or even 50 sites is what turns it from a demo into a repeatable data pipeline. Now, folks, another useful part is that this result does not have to stay only inside the playground. I can use the API option to connect this workflow to my own setup, and I can also look at the MCP option if I want to connect Tinyfish with tools like Cloud Desktop, Cursor, or another MCP client. And if I need the result in a more portable format, I can export it as JSON. So even if I start visually in the playground, the output can still be used in a developer workflow, stored somewhere else, or passed into another app. This is what makes it feel less like a tool and more like a system that can execute tasks end-to-end. So overall, folks, what I find interesting about Tinyfish is not just what it does, but how it approaches the whole problem. Because if you ever worked with web data or automation, you know the hardest part is not the idea itself. What you saw here is that instead of building all of that yourself, you can just describe the task and let the agent handle it. So whether you're designing workflows, collecting data, or just trying to automate repetitive tasks, this kind of approach can save you a lot of time, especially when you need consistent execution across multiple runs. Guys, if you want to try it yourself, check the links in the description and test it with your own use cases. That's where it really starts to make sense. As usual, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.